Last week, the White House fired all but 4 members of the National Council on the Humanities. The council advises the National Endowment for the Humanities, an independent federal agency that helps fund public programs with a focus on art and history. Now, some of those projects have included an American tour of an Egyptian pharaoh's treasures, a 9-part miniseries from Ken Burns on the Civil War, and an extensive online collection of documents from America's first president, George Washington. Robin Bronk joins me now with more on this story. She is the CEO of the Creative Coalition, a nonprofit advocacy group supporting arts and entertainment. Great to have you with us, Robin. You've worked closely with the National Endowment for the Arts. I know that another federal agency that supports art and art education. So why is federal funding for things like this so important?
It's interesting. The Creative Coalition was formed, we were galvanized about 40 years ago when President Reagan wanted to zero out the National Endowment of the Arts. And really what we do is the same thing we still do, which is a door-knocking campaign on Capitol Hill and to Congress to point out why arts need to be preserved in this country and why arts, whether you like, the culture of the arts or you care about it transactionally. I mean, the arts are something, and humanities are something that bring billions, double-digit, triple-digit, billions of dollars into the United States. The NEH, many times goes hand in hand with NEA. NEH is more the supporting of public preservation, public programs, humanities programs and research programs, while the NEA goes right into the congressional districts. The NEA funding, which I think is kind of interesting. So at the level it was last year, which is $207 million, that $207 million didn't go to Hollywood and Broadway and the 1% of people who are the blockbuster celebrities. It goes to every single congressional district, to the citizens in every single congressional district in the country, particularly in rural communities that would otherwise not have the arts and would be diminished in many ways, transactionally and through mental health.
If the money doesn't come from that national endowment, then Robin, what are other choices? Is there other money that people can get to fund those public projects?
Well, there are private foundations, but there's a reason that the NEA and the NEH exists. It exists because it gives seed money to these communities and to these programs. The $207 million, for example, from the NEA does not completely support every arts program in the country. It is given out in a couple $1,000s here, a couple $1,000s there, and then the community organizations and the educational programs build on that. It is seed money. It is a good housekeeping seal of approval. And if anyone resents this $207 million going to these type of programs, look at what it reaps. Benefits in the billions of dollars.
Okay, interesting. Robin Bronk, thank you so much.